I sat in a laundromat parking lot at 11 at night, watching a stranger's terrible New Year's Eve unfold, and I couldn't stop smiling. My roommate and I had a blowout fight over rent money that ended with her telling me to find somewhere else to live before the new year started. I didn't argue. I just threw 2 duffel bags in my trunk and drove around for an hour with nowhere to go and maybe $80 to my name. I parked outside a laundromat because it had the most light and tried to figure out how many nights I could sleep in my car before it became a real problem. My phone buzzed around midnight. It was my old coworker Renata asking if I wanted to spend New Year's at her place with her and her nephew Cody, who she'd taken in after his mom lost custody. I almost said no out of pride, but pride doesn't keep you warm in a parking lot in January. I typed back yes before I could talk myself out of it. When I got to Renata's apartment the next morning, I stopped in the doorway. Her dining table was completely covered. A laptop box, a stack of gift cards fanned out like a poker hand, a brand new pair of sneakers still in the display box, envelopes with cash visible through the paper. "Are you starting a store?" I asked. Renata just laughed and told me to put my bags in the guest room. "Everyone deserves a good start to the year," she said. "Even people who don't act like they deserve it." Renata is the type of woman who drives 2 hours to bring her old neighbor's dog to the vet for free. Genuinely good person. Cody, her 17-year-old nephew, was something else entirely. He'd gotten suspended from school twice that semester. Once for selling vapes in the bathroom, once for shoving a teacher's aide who tried to confiscate his phone. He'd also borrowed Renata's car without asking and put a dent in the bumper that he never mentioned until the insurance company called. And yet there was a table full of gifts sitting there, clearly meant for him, clearly worth hundreds of dollars. I kept my mouth shut because Renata had just given me a bed instead of a back seat, but watching Cody over the next few days made my jaw tighten. He never said thank you for anything. He left cereal bowls crusted on the counter for days. When Renata asked him to help carry groceries in, he didn't even look up from his phone. "Why would I? You're the one who wanted to buy all this stuff for me." Then he glanced at me and added, "Who is she anyway? Didn't know we were running a shelter now." Renata just smiled and kept rearranging the gift table so there'd be room for plates at dinner. I wanted to say something, but I had nowhere else to go, so I stayed quiet and watched the pile somehow keep growing every day leading up to New Year's. Renata's sister called twice, both times pulling her aside for hushed arguments I could half hear through the wall. Something about spoiling him after everything he'd done. Renata just kept saying the same thing back. Everyone deserves a fresh start. By New Year's Eve, I lay awake in the guest room wondering what I'd actually walked into. New Year's Day, I woke up to the smell of coffee. Renata was already at the kitchen table, calm, scrolling her phone like it was any other morning. "Happy New Year," I said. She smiled and said it back, and we were mid-conversation when Cody came stomping down the hall, straight past both of us, straight for the gift table. He tore into the laptop box first, empty, then the sneaker box, empty. Then he ripped open envelope after envelope, and every single one was blank inside. No cash, nothing. His face went from confused to furious in about 10 seconds. Renata just sipped her coffee like she was reading the weather. Cody grabbed the last envelope and found a single $20 bill and a folded note. He read it, crumpled it, and threw it across the room. "What is this? Are you serious?" he shouted. Renata finally looked up. "You'll get real gifts when you start acting like you deserve them. That 20's for a bus pass, since you dented my car and I'm not driving you anywhere for a while." Cody stormed to his room and slammed the door hard enough to knock a picture frame off the wall. Neither of us got up to check on him. Renata turned to me and slid a small wrapped box across the table. "This one's real," she said. "You've actually been kind to me this week."